All right, the watch list video for Friday, June 8th. Putting up a tweet I tweeted this morning. This popped in my head in the pre-market. I have no idea why, but I thought, hey, that'd be a good tweet. So then I blew it up and wanted to put it in the beginning of this video, just reminding you as a day trader, you've got to stay humble. And again, as it says right there, if you don't, the market will humble you all by itself. All right, so the SPY, pretty choppy session today, but really nice teamwork in the chat room. Had a pretty nice day, and here's what we're watching tomorrow. I'm not in love with this one. This is VSTM, but a very strong stock. If you take today's candle out of it, you had this really big breakout, and then today a small gap up, and then kind of pulling back. But that's really what you want to see on a strong stock, is you want to buy pullbacks. So I want to watch this one. I don't know if it's come back in enough yet, but we're going to watch it for a possible trade tomorrow. VKTX, extremely choppy. But if it can break out of this tight range it's in, maybe what today's high was 1038. I don't know. I'm going to watch it because it's holding up really well after an offering. And then today it looked like after the gap up, like it was, back down to oblivion. It ended up closing fairly strong. So I want to keep that one on watch. HEAR. Wow, what a breakout today. This thing's been a monster. We had this on watch coming into today. Put a couple ideas in the chat room today. And a really nice breakout. This is one of those that, when I saw it, it was going to close strong and probably take out these highs. It's one of those that I kind of wish I was a swing trader, but you all should be glad I'm not, because if you're in this as a swing trader, and if I was holding it, it would open down here tomorrow. So anyway, but a really strong stock. It's had a big 2-day run, so I'm not that interested in getting long tomorrow, but sometimes you get a low-risk setup, so we'll see. CODX, extremely weird looking. Nobody knows what to do with this thing, but if I can get a narrow range for most of the day and then an afternoon breakout, I'll be all over this thing for a possible long. The daily chart's just really weird, but it's been getting a lot of action lately. Today, only 460,000 shares. So just keep it on a chart somewhere. It's not like my favorite setup. AETI had this big 30 million share day, then a couple days down, and then a nice pop today. I did not take any trades in it today, but I want to watch it. It held up pretty well. So we're going to watch that one tomorrow. PULM, it's a little obscure, but had nice volume 5 sessions ago. And then, again, a pretty decent volume spike today. So you got a couple catalysts here. Break of today's high, basically probably 53 cents. And then this high was basically 54 cents. You have to round up because they trade in partial pennies. But I like the volume here and here. It might try to break out of this range. Not a big fan of the sub-dollar stuff. But anyway, First Solar, no trades in it. Again today. Kind of like I mentioned in, what was it, CODX. I'm looking for what I'd like to see anyway. Now, it doesn't mean it's the only trade setup it could give, but what I'd like to see is either downside shape on an intraday basis and a nice reversal setup on an intraday basis, or a fairly narrow range, and I'll get long if and when it breaks the opening range, preferably in the afternoon. But that's only 2 possible scenarios. Anything can happen, and I don't take a trade unless I get a low-risk setup. DARE, pretty nice chart here. You had this pop back here that ultimately hit a high of 150. Then you put in a lower high at 140. I've talked about this this past few days. I've been watching this one. And then today it's trying to, if you picture a trend line here where my mouse is going, right? It's really kind of, I guess I could have taken the time if I wasn't so lazy and drawn the trend line there. But anyway, you can see it's kind of breaking the trend line, possible break over this 150. So today's high was 135. There was a big seller on the tape right there. So we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. But in short, I like it over 135, but we don't know how it's going to open, so that might not mean anything by the time it opens tomorrow. JVA, big volume for this stock. You got to love a company called Coffee Holdings. I'm a coffee lover, so really strong day, big volume. Now keep in mind, this big volume, still only 792,000 shares. So if I hover over yesterday, you ready for this? It traded 12,000 shares all day yesterday. So this is a super thin stock, but still, we'll see if it gets any kind of low-risk setup tomorrow. And then APHB is my last one. Nothing compelling here, but in after hours it's trading, at least right now, at $1.36. So we're looking at potential gap play tomorrow. So that one's on the list as well. Pretty short list today. We'll add some gappers in the pre-market to this list, and we'll also watch our trade ideas scanners and see if they give any kind of setups as well. There's a link for a discount to Trade Idea Scanners, by the way, below this video. So check that out, and I'm done babbling. See everybody tomorrow.